Today in this video we will discuss an expression for the average power consumed in series LCR circuit. Okay, average power consumed in series LCR circuit. Average power consumed in series LCR circuit. Okay. So for that we are considering, let I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi be the current passing through this, and V is equal to Vm sin omega t. That already we discussed before last video. No, you can see that there already we discussed how we got the expression for the current. I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi. And what is phi? Phi is the phase angle between voltage and current, that is given by tan phi is equal to Xc minus XL by R. Okay. And here what happens, at each and every instant of time, the current flowing through the circuit is changing and the potential difference for this voltage at each and every instant it will be changing. So instantaneous value of voltage and current will be changing at each and every instant of time. Okay. So to get the expression for the average power, what we have to do? We have to consider each time interval. We have to consider what is the work done, that all work done to be added. Then we have to divide it by one average time period for one cycle. No, we have to divide it by time period. Then we will get the expression for the average power. Okay. So we can find, first we can write the small amount of work done dW, that can be written as power into dt, or that is equal to V into I into dt. No, we can write V into I into dt, or we can write dW is equal to Vm sin omega t Im sin omega t plus phi dt, or we can write dW is equal to Vm into Im sin omega t into sin omega t plus phi dt. This is the small amount of work done. And to get the total work done, what we have to do? Total work done for one cycle, we have to integrate. So if we integrate here, which is the variable? Here t is the variable. We have to integrate between the limits 0 to t. 0 to t Vm Im sin omega t sin omega t plus phi dt. We can expand this. So we can write W is equal to integral 0 to t Vm Im sin omega t sin A plus B can be written as sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. So we can write sin omega t cos phi plus cos omega t sin phi. Okay. Or Vm Im can be taken outside the integral. Integral 0 to t Vm and Im is taken outside. Now sin omega t into sin omega t cos phi, how it will become? It can be written as sin square omega t cos phi plus sin omega t into cos omega t sin phi. No? Sin omega t cos omega t sin phi dt. Okay. Now sin square theta can be written as 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Same way sin omega t cos omega t can be written as sin 2 omega t by 2. How? Sin 2 theta can be written as 2 sin theta cos theta. Again sin square theta can be written as 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Why we are doing this? We cannot integrate like this directly. That's why we are converting it into that form. Okay. So we can write W is equal to Vm Im integral 0 to t 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. So instead of sin square omega t, we can write 1 minus cos 2 omega t. Now cos phi plus, instead of this term sin omega t cos omega t, we can write it as sin 2 omega t sin 2 omega t by 2 sin phi dt. Okay, is it clear? So two terms we got. Now we are integrating it separately. So we can write W is equal to Vm Im. Here from first term we can take cos phi common. Why we can take cos phi? Because phi is constant for a given LCR circuit. Depends only on the value of Xc, XL and R. Okay. So we can write cos phi integral, what it is? 0 to t 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 into dt. Still left, what left? Plus, what it is left? Sin phi integral 0 to t sin phi by 2 we can take. Here also we can write cos phi by 2, we can take outside the integral. Okay, cos phi by 2. Here sin phi by 2. Sorry. Sin 2 omega t dt. Okay, here. Now we have to integrate it. So we can integrate each term. We can integrate cos 2 omega t and we can integrate sin 2 omega t, and we will see the result what it is. Okay. So we can write here integral cos 2 omega t if you integrate between the limit 0 to t. So if you integrate cosine function, you will get sine function. No? What we will get? Sine 2 omega t divided by 2 omega between the limits 0 to t. 1 by 2 omega can be taken common. Now you have to apply limits. Sine 2 instead of omega, sorry, instead of omega we can write 2 pi by t into t minus lower limit, it is what you got? 1 by 2 omega into sin 4 pi minus sin 0. Sin 4 pi is 0, sin 0 is 0. You got the answer as 0. Okay. Again we can integrate sin 2 omega t. So if you integrate sin 2 omega t, what you will get? Integral sin 2 omega t dt between the limit 0 to t. So what you will get? If you integrate, you will get minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2 omega between the limit 0 to t. Minus 1 by 2 omega can be taken. Again we can apply the limits. What you will get? Cos 2 into 2 pi by t into t minus cos 0. So if you get, and what you will get, cos 4 pi minus cos 0. Cos 4 pi is 1, cos 0 is 1. Again you will get this answer also 0. Okay, so we can say that integral cos 2 omega t dt for one cycle it is 0, integral sin 2 omega t dt for one cycle is 0. So whether it is sine function or cosine function, if it is for one time interval, its average value will be 0. Whether it is sine omega t, it will be for one time interval, it will be 0. Here it is sine or cosine 2 omega t. If it were cos omega t or sine omega t also, its average value will be 0 for one time interval. Okay, now we can finish this part. So what we will get? W is equal to Vm Im cos phi by 2. Here cos 2, integral cos 2 omega t dt 0, integral sin 2 omega t dt 0. Now what else left? Integral 0 to t dt. 1 dt, no, that much only left. The remaining part is 0. What you will get? W is equal to Vm Im cos phi by 2 into t. Upper limit is minus lower limit. After integrating, if you apply the limits, after integrating you will get small t, and if you apply the limits you will get capital T minus 0, or you can write it as capital T. Okay, this is the total work done for one time period. Now we can find average power is equal to total work done divided by total time. So that will be equal to Vm Im cos phi t divided by 2 or by t. Or we will get Vm Im cos phi by 2, or this can be written as Vm by root 2 Im by root 2 cos phi, or that is equal to Vm by root 2 can be written as RMS value. So Vrms into Irms into Vrms into Irms into cos phi. So this is the expression for the average power consumed in an LCR circuit. Is it clear to everyone? Understood, no? And now we will discuss various cases. Okay. So we are having the expression of average power, that is given by Vrms into Irms into cos phi. Okay. Vrms into Irms into cos phi, and here this term is known as power factor. Okay, cos phi is known as power factor. So how to find power factor? If you remember the impedance triangle, very easy to find the power factor. If you know the angle between them, very easy, no doubt. By substituting that angle, you can find. If it is given 45 degree, you can find what is the value of cos 45. Or if it is given 30 degree or whatever it is, by substituting you can find it. If it is not given how to find power factor, you can find power factor from the impedance triangle. So you may remember that impedance triangle. Here Z is there, here R is there, here XC minus XL is there, and this angle is phi. So now can you find phi, cos phi? So cos phi is equal to R by C. So by using this also you can find the expression for the power factor, that is given by cos phi, which is equal to R by C. Okay, and we used to use the term wattless current. Okay, wattless current. So when we use that term wattless current means no power is consumed. So when we can use that term wattless current, that we are discussing. So in which case average power consumed is 0. So this is the general expression for LCR circuit, where phi is given by the angle between voltage and current. So if we are substituting various values of phi, we will get the expression for power. No? So we can say that various cases, if it is purely resistive circuit, if the circuit is purely resistive, in that case what is the angle between voltage and current? So we can write, in that case phi is equal to 0, angle between voltage and current is 0. So we will get average power is equal to Vrms into IR. Okay. And if it is, in second case what it is, different cases we can see. Second case, if it is a resist, only L is connected. If only L is connected to AC source. In that case what happens? Voltage lags current or voltage leads current. In the case of purely only inductor is there, means voltage leads current. No? V leads I by pi by 2, or we can say that I lags current by pi by 2. Here we are considering that. So we can write here phi is equal to minus pi by 2. Why it is minus pi by 2? Because here we are considering I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi. Here voltage leads or current lags, so phi is equal to minus pi by 2. So in that case, what will be the average power? Average power is equal to Vrms into Irms into cos pi by 2. What is the value of cos pi by 2? Cos pi by 2 is 90 degree. So average power is 0. Similarly, we can write for capacitor also. How we can write? In the case of capacitor also we will get. So if capacitor is connected to AC source, only capacitor. Okay. If only capacitor is connected to AC source. So in that case what happens? Again we can write here voltage leads current by pi by 2. There what happens? Voltage lags current by pi by 2. So here we can write phi is equal to plus pi by 2. Phi is equal to plus pi by 2. So we can write the expression for average power, that is given by Vrms into Irms into cos pi by 2. Here it is cos minus pi by 2. Even though cos minus theta is cos theta, so it will be 0 only. So here also we will get it as 0. So in both cases, this, if it is purely only inductor is connected and only capacitor is connected, the average power consumed is 0. Or if you want, you can do integration and you can find separately also for each, or at least it is better you can remember this expression, and in this expression if you substitute the value of phi, you will get different cases. Okay. So for purely resistive circuit, we can say that maximum power is consumed, and for inductive or capacitive circuit, average power consumed is 0. So for inductance and capacitance circuit, we will say that it is wattless current. Why it is wattless current? Because the average power consumed for one time period it is 0. Why it is 0? Because in the case of capacitor, it will be charging, then discharging. In the first half cycle, T by 4 will be charging, next T by 4 discharging, again T by 4 charging in opposite direction, next T by 4 discharging in opposite direction. Similarly, in the case of inductor also, magnetization and demagnetization will be taking place continuously, because of which average power consumed will be 0. But in the case of purely resistive circuit, maximum will be there. Okay. So in the case of this also, we can say that at resonance also it will be average power consumed will be maximum. Why? At resonance, voltage and current will be in same phase. So at resonance, average power consumed will be maximum. Okay. Is it clear? Understood? No? Okay. And now we will discuss the next topic. Now we will discuss about LC oscillation. If a fully charged capacitor is connected across an inductor, if that inductor is non-resistive, okay, if a fully charged capacitor is connected across an inductor through a key, and if the key is closed, electrical oscillations will be produced, and that is known as LC oscillations. Okay, a fully charged capacitor, when it is connected across an inductor, electrical oscillations will be produced, and these oscillations are known as LC oscillations. Okay, so here we can get an expression for the what is the value of charge and what is the expression for frequency of those oscillations produced. All those we can get it. Only one thing is that you have to correlate it with simple harmonic motion, what you studied in 11th standard. Okay, so here undamped oscillations will be there. Undamped oscillations means oscillations, amplitude of the oscillations remains same. No, it will remain same. Same amplitude will be there. Okay, any instant of time, the amplitude will remain same. That is undamped oscillations. Okay, so if we are plotting, we can show like this: amplitude remains same. At any instant of time, the amplitude remains same. Okay, this is what is meant by undamped oscillations. Amplitude of that oscillation will remain same. Okay, so here we are considering Q is the charge and L is the self-inductance. So we know, and C is the capacitance. So we know that Q is equal to CV. Q is equal to CV, that relation we know. So we can write V is equal to Q by C. So by applying Kirchhoff's rules, we can write Q by C minus L into di by dt is equal to 0. And why minus L into di by dt? Because it is the back EMF produced in the inductor. Okay, and instead of I, what we can write? I can be written as minus dq by dt. We write why it is minus I? Because whenever the charge on the capacitor decreases, current in the circuit increases. That's why we are writing it as minus dq by dt. So if we substitute, we will get Q by C minus L into d by dt of minus dq by dt is equal to 0. Or we can write d square Q by dt square plus 1 by LC into Q is equal to 0. So if you compare this with the differential form of simple harmonic motion, we can write what is the differential? Differential form of simple harmonic motion, SHM. What is the differential form of simple harmonic motion? Here we can write d square x, or whatever is d square Q by dt square plus omega square Q is equal to 0. D square x by dt square plus omega square x equal to 0. Okay, and one more thing here I forgotten. Here you have to write it as amplitude, and here you have to write omega t. Okay, theta or omega t. Okay, so d square Q by dt square plus omega square Q is equal to 0. So if you compare it with this, what you can say? This part shows the frequency of that oscillation produced. No? So we can write omega square is equal to 1 by LC, or we can write omega is equal to 1 by root LC. Or if we find, if we can represent it in terms of frequency, omega is equal to 2 pi f. So frequency is equal to 1 by 2 pi into LC. So the oscillations already we discussed, electrical oscillations will be produced. So the frequency of oscillation is given by 1 by 2 pi into root LC, where L is the inductance and C is the capacitance. So frequency, any electromagnetic radiations can be produced with suitable value of L and C. Okay, is it clear? And now we can see the expression of energy. What is the energy stored in capacitor and what is the energy stored in inductor, and we can show that total energy remains same. Okay, is it clear? So we can see that equation d square q by dt square plus omega square q is equal to 0. So the solution of this equation will be either cosine or sine function, no doubt at all, because if you differentiate 2 times and if you add it with the same function to get that function to be 0, it will be no doubt either sine or cosine function. And here we are telling that it is a cosine function. Why we are telling that it is a cosine function? Because at t is equal to 0, we are writing q is equal to q0 cos omega t is the solution of this differential equation. Why we are telling? Because at t is equal to 0, maximum charge will be stored in the capacitor. If we are taking sine function, what happens? At t is equal to 0, q is equal to 0. No charge will be there in the capacitor. Okay. So we are considering that it is a cosine function. So if you substitute, you can check whether it satisfies this equation or not. How to check? If you substitute here, if you differentiate it 2 times, what you will get? You will get omega square q0 minus cos omega t, and here omega square q0 cos omega t. So it will get cancelled, you will get 0. So we can say that this satisfies this equation. How you have to check? You have to differentiate q with respect to t 2 times. Once you differentiate, you will get cos omega t. If you differentiate minus omega, you will get minus omega sin omega t. Again you have to differentiate, so you will get minus omega square cos omega t. Okay, so we can say that this satisfies this equation. Okay, now we can find what is the total energy. Total energy can be written as energy stored in the capacitor in the form of electric field plus energy stored in the inductor in the form of magnetic field. So we can write total energy is equal to energy stored in electric field plus energy stored in magnetic field, or we can write energy stored in electric field can be written as q square by 2c plus energy stored in magnetic field can be written as half L I square. Now we can find what is the total energy. How to find q? You can substitute q0 cos omega t. Then I you can get, how to get I just we discussed, I is equal to minus dq by dt. So if you differentiate, what you will get? Minus q0 omega sin omega t. So you can substitute here. So 1 by 2 can be taken common. Q square you can write. What you will get? Q0 square cos square omega t plus L is there. I square means Q0 square omega square sin square omega. Now we can write omega square is equal to 1 by LC. No? Omega square can be written as 1 by LC, that you can substitute here. So what you will get? Half q0 square also can be taken common, cos square omega t, and instead of omega square we are substituting it as 1 by LC. L will get cancelled, so here also it will be, here by C is there, no? Here also by C, here also sin square omega t by C, sin square omega t by C. or we can get what we will get here. Total energy is equal to Q0 square by 2C. Cos square omega t plus sin square omega t is equal to 1. So the maximum total energy is given by Q0 square by 2C. Okay. So if it is at t is equal to 0 also, at t is equal to 0 also by Q0 square by 2C. So at t is equal to 0, what happens? At t is equal to 0, we know that current is 0. So there is no energy, this energy will be 0. Okay, so we can write here at t is equal to 0, at t is equal to 0, q is equal to 0, but current is 0. So total energy we can write it as only this energy will be there, that is given by Q0 square by 2C. Now at t is equal to t by 2 or t. What happens after half cycle? Here total energy will be stored in inductor. Okay, is it clear? So we can say that energy will be oscillating between capacitor and inductor. Initially total energy will be stored in the capacitor. As time goes on, the current through the circuit increases. As the current increases, energy will be stored between capacitor and inductor. And when current reaches maximum value, what happens? Total energy will be stored in inductor. Energy stored in capacitor will be 0. But that also will be equal to Q0 square by 2C. Okay. So total energy will be always remain same, Q0 square by 2C. Energy will not be changing. Is it clear? So energy will remain same, but in which that energy will be appearing, it varies. Initially it will be only in capacitor. As time goes on, when the current through the circuit increases, it reaches the maximum value, total energy will be energy in the magnetic field across the inductor. Then in the case of any time in between, then what happens? Energy will be in between, energy stored will be between across capacitor and inductor, but that energy also will be remains same. Okay, that energy also will be equal to Q0 square by 2C. So here we told that it is of having oscillations will be of having same amplitude, but practically it is not possible to have same amplitude oscillations. Two reasons are there. One reason is that this inductor will not be of purely inductive. There will be some resistance will be there, because of which there will be always energy loss will be there. Okay, heat energy will be produced. So some energy will be lost like that. That's why amplitude will not be same. And if we are considering that it is ideal one, it is purely inductive, no resistance at all, then also electromagnetic radiations will be emitted. Okay, oscillations are produced because of which radiations will be emitted. Hence, the amplitude will be gradually changing. Okay, decreasing. It will be gradually varying. Is it clear? So this is what about LC oscillation. I think all of you understood it. If you are having any doubt, you contact me. Okay.